What's your $2 bill really worth? Watch now in this video because we're going over 3 steps. Step 1, we'll show you examples of what to look for to determine if your $2 bill is rare or not. Step 2 will help you identify the value of your $2 bill so you understand their worth in today's market. And step 3 will show you how to get expert help to sell your collection for the most money possible if that's what you're looking to do. Let's hop into this video. Here we have this first note from 2003. So first of all, it's important to understand that they still produce, the United States, $2 bills to this day. That's right, the Bureau of Engraving and Printing, where they produce paper money, still makes these $2 bills today, even though a lot of people think they don't print them anymore. Now, there are 2 places in the US that print paper money. The first place is Washington, D.C., and the second place is Fort Worth, Texas. Now, this note right here was produced at Fort Worth, Texas, and this is how you know, and this is why it's important. So if you look at the top left and the bottom right area, you're going to see what's called a front plate position. Now, a plate position is essentially an internal number and letter that tells a BEP employee where this specific bill was located on a printing plate. Now, if your front plate position has an FW before the letter, that means it was produced at the Fort Worth, Texas facility. If there is no FW anywhere on your bill, that means it was produced at the Washington, D.C. facility. Now, why does that matter? Well, it really comes down to how many bills were printed at each facility. It's a simple supply and demand thing. Sometimes Fort Worth, Texas will produce less notes, making them more valuable. In this example, this is a star note. Star notes happen when there's an error on a sheet of bills. A quality control manager will destroy that sheet and produce a new sheet of paper money with a star at the end of the serial number. Keep that in mind anytime you see a star because it could be worth more money. This example, graded by PCGS at a 66 PPQ, sold for $67. Now, this example sold for $180, and here's why. This is a series 2017 $2 bill. Now, it is important to know that just because your $2 bill has a date on it does not always mean that's the date it was actually produced. For example, this 2017 $2 bill could have been produced in 2017, 2018, 2019, 2020, etc. That's because every year the Bureau of Engraving and Printing does not produce a new printing plate for these bills. Typically, print runs can last anywhere from 3 to 7 years based on how long they want to run them for. All you got to know here is that this is a good sign for us because this means that you can literally go to your local bank, pick up $2 bills today, and look for this error that happened. Now, it's a very, very small detail that you have to look very closely on. I'm glad that we added this one here because this one can completely get missed by a lot of people. So look very closely at the star at the end of the serial number. The bottom left star is open, the top right star is closed. This is what we call a solid star error. This should have never happened. Now, if you're ever buying or selling anything like this, you need to be very careful because there are some people out there that will see a video like ours, think they're smart, and they'll get a green pen and try to fill in that star to replicate this error. That is an alteration, and that is considered fraud because you're trying to manipulate something that is not actually real. That is why a company like PMG and PCGS are so important to the hobby because they guarantee that the bill and the error is genuine, and if not, they'll buy it back. You're completely covered there. Keep this in mind also. This one got graded at a 58 EPQ. That means there's a fold somewhere on this bill, whether it's on one of the corners going through the design or right down the center. That means that if you find a rare $2 bill, do not fold it, don't damage it, because that will decrease the value of your paper money. But let's hop into this note that sold for $960. Now, hold on a second. You may be thinking to yourself, what is this thing? Is this even real? Yes, this is a genuine United States legal tender note from 1928. So back in the day, the US decided to make the seal and the serial numbers red on these bills, which is super cool. They are very collectible today. And in this high of a grade, this $2 bill sold for $960. Now, you could take this $2 bill, which is a legal tender note, to a local bank and get $2 worth of value out of it, or you could spend it at a store, but we highly advise against doing that. 1, because the collector value is a lot more money than that, and 2, there are a lot of stories out there where someone will take a beat up $2 legal tender to a store and they will get the cops called on them. That's because there's a lot of people out there that don't realize that this is a genuine $2 bill. The last thing that we want for you guys is to get the cops called on you. Obviously, we don't want that for you whatsoever. So be very careful whenever going about your day. You don't want to spend something like this, but you should, in our opinion, contact a rare currency expert when it comes to something like this. Now, what you can do is you can contact a few coin and currency experts around you to see if they can help you determine the value of your bill. Or what you can do is get our free coin ebook down below that goes over a lot of details that you'll need to know when handling and finding the value of your coins and paper paper money, just be very careful and be very aware of who you trust, because there are a lot of bad characters out there that are trying to rip you off and scam you. Just be very, very careful. Listen to your gut instinct, and let's hop into the next bill. All right, so this 2003 $2 bill got the perfect grade of 70, and when it comes to getting your bill graded, it comes down to, does it have any folds, and is the centering good? So if you look at the margins, which is the white border around the bill on the front and back, the more centered it is, the better. Sometimes these banknotes come out of the Bureau of Engraving and Printing, and they're cut really poorly. This example got cut very cleanly all the way around, and it got the 70 grade, and that's why it sold for $1,200. All right, $9,900. So you may be thinking to yourself, why did this one sell for so much more money than that previous legal tender? That's because this is a very rare example. This is a 1928B star note. So that combination there makes this $2 bill extremely rare and valuable. In fact, there's only a total of 8 of these ever known to exist, but there are more than likely more of them out there today. Now just imagine if this bill was in uncirculated or about uncirculated grade. That's a very high grade for an old bill like this that is so rare. It would bring so much money, guys. But if you come across a 1928B star note like this, you've pretty much hit the mother lode, because this Choice Fine 15 sold for $9,900. $21,150 for this 1976 $2 bill. So it's pretty apparent as to why this one sold for so much money. It really comes down to that serial number. It is a serial number 1, guys. This more than likely got picked up by a bank teller. As you can see, they have the initial bank cover for that brick of 4,000 $2 bills with a face value of $8,000. The first serial number, as you can see on that slip there, says it begins with a serial number 1. Now, serial number 1 banknotes are pretty much the pinnacle when it comes to $2 bills. So if you have one, we highly, highly recommend contacting someone that knows what they're doing, because you've just come across a $2 bill worth a ton of money, guys. $21,150. If you enjoyed this video, then smash that like button, and we'll see you in the next one.